I am Master's Candidate Robert Green, and this is my project vision on the wealth gap in America. Greetings. The focus of the course project is to get to the bottom of why there is a gap in wealth between so many Americans. Generation to generation, wealth has not changed for many Americans of color, low-income communities, and immigrants. Why? In this project, I will deduce that societal level reasons for lack of wealth. In the project, the question to be asked is what role does mass media play in highlighting the wealth gap in the United States? Additionally, I will focus on this project will be the three theories that could apply to the wealth gap: stakeholder theory, magic bullet theory, and the cultivation of theory of mass communication. Through the lenses of these theories, I will push an agenda that focuses on the solving wealth gap and the impact trying to accomplish it has as a goal. The wealth gap for this project will focus on four key areas. The wealth gap as it pertains to generational wealth, income disparity, pension security, and the unaffordability of modern necessities. For generational wealth, I'll focus on how wealth has developed over generations, market discrimination, legislation, and barriers to wealth generating tools that broaden the wealth gap in the U.S. For income, I will focus on tech, medical, and finance jobs that cause large gaps in wealth because of low-wage workers and how high-wage jobs have outpaced blue-collar incomes. Furthermore, I will demonstrate how Americans have no guaranteed pension or employer-backed long-term savings. And finally, I will dive into how Americans suffer from unaffordable healthcare, childcare, and housing. In this project, some of the short-term solutions I will discuss will be based on the Peterson Institute of International Economics data. In the PII article by Cusick et al. In 2020, it was founded that bridging the wealth gap could be solved with 6 solutions. In this project, I'll focus on minimum wage raising, pension protection for workers, affordable health care, family leave, expansion of internships and apprenticeships that pay their students and employees. Long-term solutions are founded in a study by Bahat et al. 2020, which focus on large-scale changes. In the project, I will talk about adjusting taxable income, trust funds, bracket protection for taxation. The secondary focus will be on banking equality for low-income communities and family care funding. And the tertiary focus will be on the healthcare equality and affordability of medicine. Some of the social benefits that I see by engaging on the wealth gap are going to be building up communities of low income and color, creating equality and equity for Americans, and reducing poverty overall. Benchmarks for this project will be focused on housing and access to houses, the poverty line and lowering its threshold, and then American need for government intervention on social economic matters, for example, welfare. Some of the stakeholders in this project will be government policymakers, large banks, ultra-wealthy U.S. citizens, and low-income communities. Each of these communities represent a macro and micro audience that are largely attributed or affected by the wealth gap. Next, I will talk about the audiences. For this project, I have several audiences that I want to talk about. They range from blue-collar workers to white-collar workers and in between. And finally, for the summary, the wealth gap can be bridged through building a targeted social campaign on long and short-term goals focused on changing behaviors in stakeholders and representatives, and also changing the behaviors and stakeholders and perspectives of an audience in America. Thank you for your attention, and this concludes my presentation.